Hi everyone, this is Karen White of Divine Time Astrology, and I'm here again with Neeshee.pandit of Atma Astrology. And today we are talking about the sign of Scorpio. Hi Neeshee.
Hi Karen.
You have a different background today. So
That's
you're in
right.
Hawaii. I think that you should visit.
I've moved back to Hawaii and I'm getting set up again, and this is my current blank wall.
Do you have your Ayurveda clinic set up yet?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So maybe people who are watching this video can visit you when they go to Hawaii and get
That's right. Everyone's welcome to come to Kauai for Ayurvedic retreats.
That sounds good. So I'm assuming that when you have one, you'll have it on your website and your Facebook.
Definitely.
Okay, good. Okay, so the sign of Scorpio. So we are starting with the Brihad Parashara's description of the sign of Scorpio. So it is small-limbed, many-footed, a Brahmin, in a hole, abiding in the north, rich in vigor during the day, exposed to water and land, bristles, abounding and very sharp-pointed is the scorpion ruled by Mars. So that's a very interesting description. And so what would you like to take the body parts from here?
Sure. So Scorpio relates to the sex organs.
Yeah. Okay. The external ones, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Libra is the internal aspect of those. So yes, Scorpio is the sex organs, and the sex organs are two things. I mean, one, they're the organs that relate to our desire, and our attachment to things, therefore. So that's an aspect of Scorpio, the desire for things and being attached to things, especially relationships and things of that nature. But the other part of it is that that's a vulnerable area of our bodies. And so Scorpio has within it this quality of needing to protect that which is vulnerable, needing to shield oneself from those things that are easily harmed. So this is all part of Scorpio's kind of introverted orientation.
Secretive.
That's right.
Do you know in traditional Western horary, they refer to the sex organs, that area of the body, as the secrets?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Tibetan medicine, they refer to the sex organs as the secret organ.
Oh, okay.
So there's something to that, yeah.
So there you go. Scorpio is very secretive for a good reason.
That's right.
Okay, so then we're going on to the modality of the sign. And Scorpio is a fixed water sign. And so fixed signs, they create security, stability, they're steadfast, they're slow to change. And Scorpio in particular, because it's a water sign, represents emotional security and emotional stability. And you have a Scorpio moon, but your moon is full and in the house he loves to be in the fourth. Right. Now I'm aware I'm going to be asking a Scorpio moon a question like this, so we may not get the straight answer, but I mean, do you feel like you're really aware of your vulnerabilities and the vulnerabilities of other people?
Oh yeah, sure. No doubt.
Do you also notice that a lot of your clients have Scorpio moon?
Yes.
Me too. Yeah.
I get tons of clients with my moon placements or my Rahu Ketu placements.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It's happened so many times.
I really like my Scorpio moon clients.
Scorpio moon is nice. It's perceptive.
Very perceptive. And man, do they work hard on their emotional stuff.
Yeah. I think it's always helped me in my work with astrology and medicine to have Scorpio moon. It helps me see what I can't see on the external, but what's really going on,
Yes, yes.
So.
Okay, so you want to take then the gender of the sign?
Sure. So Scorpio is a female sign. All of the even numbered signs of the zodiac are feminine in quality. So this is just another way of indicating Scorpio's introverted, receptive, internally oriented, emotionally centered nature. So Scorpio is living in the internal world, that's where the center of its gravity is, not in the external world. So Scorpio is aware of itself, what it feels, what's going on inside, the weaknesses, the strengths, everything that's happening internal to itself. So feminine signs are, by their very nature, internally oriented, emotionally centered, and they are receptive. So that means that they are available to something that will flow into them and energize them. Their energy is not coming from that which they create and initiate. Their energy is coming from that which they're open to being nourished by. So, but just kind of, it's an interesting thing about Scorpio. You don't think about nourishment, and you don't think of Scorpio as this like open, vulnerable, emotionally, receptive signs. Or Scorpio seems more closed off, more secretive, more a little bit standoffish, abstracted from other people in a certain way. But this tells us a different thing about Scorpio, is that Scorpio is actually a sign that, it's a water sign too, which we'll see, but it receives nourishment, is emotional, it is receptive, feminine.
And how they react is dependent on how they feel.
Right.
And Scorpio needs to feel emotionally safe and secure.
Right.
So when they feel that, then they're able to do good. Just going on the idea that women, or the feminine principle needs to feel good to do good. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if the world cannot help you do that, then spiritual practices can.
Right.
Okay, so because it's a female sign, it's a gentle sign. And gentle signs are more relaxed, and they're more concerned with being and enjoying more than getting things done, even though Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So when you have other cruel planets with any planet in the sign of Scorpio, then especially the moon, I think this more applies to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
It means that, the feminine signs, they tend to hold their negative thoughts and feelings inside rather than expressing them outside and hurting other people with them. And Scorpio in particular has a benign live and let live attitude, even though Mars, its ruler, is completely capable of striking out to defend itself if it's stepped on, because it's a little insect. So, it's vulnerable.
Right. I think that's interesting, Karen, because I find the female and the gentle quality of Scorpio to be very interesting, because you wouldn't think of Scorpio as a gentle sign. You think of it as like aggressive, poisonous, vindictive. But we actually see that Scorpio is deeply non-confrontational in its approach to life. It's not going to accept, injustices upon itself, but it's not going to go and initiate a confrontation. It will respond to, something it needs to.
Right. Unlike its counterpart, Mars and Aries. So
Right.
Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio. And Aries is the masculine, but Scorpio is the feminine expression of Mars.
That's right.
Yeah. Very interesting. So
the internalization of conflict.
Right. And also because it's a fixed sign, when they do retaliate, they're not going to go rushing headlong into it like Aries and Mars, like the sign of Aries would do. Instead, it lays in wait, and it waits for the best time. It's patient. So the old stories about, not getting on the bad side of a Scorpio, there's a good reason for that, because they're patient. And they're probably the ones who came up with the saying that revenge is a dish best served cold. Because they can take their time. It could be years before you experience the retribution of a Scorpio. Interesting.
Beware.
Beware. But most of the time they're wonderful. They really are. They're just wonderful people. And they make excellent parents, really good parents. probably because the little insect scorpion will sacrifice itself for its young.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a friend who was a Scorpio sun person, and when my daughter was little, she was the one that I went and talked to whenever I wasn't, I was upset about something, I wasn't sure what to do, and because she was such a good mother, she just gave me the best advice. She really did. So, you want to take the Pitta Kapha Vata part of it?
Sure. So Scorpio, in terms of the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, Scorpio is considered to be Kapha, and this is because Scorpio is a water sign. And Kapha is made of water and earth elements. That makes Scorpio a Kapha sign. Kapha is, again, Kapha and water both give us the same qualities of softness, nourishment, protection. Kapha is a very stable dosha. It's the most stable dosha. It doesn't ever really cause a disease in and of itself. It causes disease when something interacts with it to vitiate it. But otherwise, Kapha just stays in place. He's not going anywhere. He's not moving around like Vata. He's not transforming anything like Pitta. He is that quality of preservation. So we saw that quality as well in Scorpio, of like, Scorpio needs to protect those things which are vulnerable. Well, that's an aspect of our consciousness. There's an aspect of our consciousness that wants to preserve things, an energy that holds things. So this is all pointing to that part of Scorpio that is like a container for nourishment, a container for its own energies, and that also allows it to heal.
Yeah, Scorpio's a healer. I have a question about that. I'm going to ask you this because you're an Ayurveda practitioner. And that is the kapha itself, like you said, is water, and it wants to preserve. But is it different? Does it do that differently in the fixed water sign of Scorpio than, say, it would in the movable sign of Cancer or the dual sign of Pisces? Or does
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I would say that, like, in the signs that are not fixed, that kapha or water equality, may have, because water is two things. It's flowing, but it's also that which like connects things. It's that which holds things. So fixed water is obviously going to be like a pond, rather than a river.
Yeah. Okay.
They're both water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
they just have different qualities. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. It just makes me want to say something here about Gemini, even though we haven't really been talking about Gemini and these sign things.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've noticed when clients come in, a lot of clients have their Atmakaraka planet in the sign of Scorpio in the Navamsha.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is deprivation of mother's milk.
Right.
So